to Dream Interpretations, the Shadows of Dreams, with myself, Journey Ryan, and none other than my wonderful and fabulous person here, Kate, the Intuitive Empath. We're going to bust out with some dreams tonight.
I'm excited. I love Thursdays.
Thursdays is always fun.
And it's February 1st.
I know. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, guys, it's still Wednesday. Well, not for us. Very, very beginning of February. And this is a leap year.
It's a leap year. It's even more special.
Exactly. It's a leap year. We're going to have a little bit more fun. And you know what? Our dream show is going to be on the 29th.
Look at it. Let's go.
I just thought about that because it's going to be going into the 29th.
Yeah.
Do it. So we'll be in the first waking moments of the 29th of the leap year. So that show will be a special show because it'll happen. That one will only happen once every 4 years. So definitely awesome there with that. All right. So let's see, you guys go ahead and share out. Do remember that all of our questions should be about your dreams. Let us know about the dream that you're having. Explain everything with the best detail possible that you could possibly give us and that you can remember. Because sometimes we forget as time goes on, we start to forget these dreams. So try to give us as much detail as possible, even if you don't think that talking about the yellow roses in the corner was a thing. There's meaning behind those yellow roses, and there's a reason why they stood out and why you remembered the color was yellow. So it's a lot of like small details that you may not think that means something, but definitely do. They actually mean sometimes more than what you're actually seeing and remembering about the dream. So if you guys have those dreams, get those dreams out to us. We're going to go through each and every one of them, try to help explain and give you an understanding of why these dreams are the way they are. And, we're going to be here for the next hour. So let's have some fun and get these dreams done. If you guys have any questions, let's say you have like a psychic question, guys, hit us up at 10 p.m. tomorrow. Well, technically today, 10 p.m. with Cassidy, the card slinger. That'll be our next reading show when it comes to the tarot and psychic readings tonight. It's just about the dream readings. So let's go ahead and dive deep into those. And we are going to start off with Kay. She's going to get to our first dream.
Right. So we have Kat. Hello, Kat. Kat says, in my dream, I was my ex, Jeff, and I was watching myself within him and began saying to eat this raw meat, and I looked and saw myself bite into it. Then I was myself again with a mirror and was taking stickers off of cans one by one and throwing them away, but it was like Jeff was chanting and summoning something, and he got really close to my face. All right. Really interesting dream. A lot of reflective energy in here. When we sit here and we look at all the reflection that has taken place into this, one, you are viewing yourself through someone else's eyes, specifically your ex, and the way that he's seen you. He was telling you to eat this raw meat, which is a really strange request, right? One wouldn't typically eat raw food, especially raw meat, because it can make them sick. So this kind of reflects to me that this relationship probably was one that made you sick. This ex probably was more of a toxic energy that's around, even the way they viewed you. It almost seems like less than. A lot of the information you're giving about them, being close to your face, giving you certain demands, having you look through their eyes and the way that they see you, all of this. And then when you come to, you're looking at a mirror right back at yourself. So I would say all of these things, look at how all of these things are reflective of showing how, so it's very negative energy that's kind of spitting back. You also mentioned that you had a lot of cans and you were trying to take all the stickers off the cans. Again, to me, that almost seems like an impossible feat. There's so many. When we think of cans, I wonder how many cans there were, how many stickers, because that can be, were they stickers that were really stuck on there? Were you working hard? Was it a test that you had to do alone? Was there anyone who was helping you? I think there's a lot that kind of goes into that as well. And it's almost like so reflective of just like trash after trash after trash just building up. So to me, it's almost like maybe even time after time or excuse after excuse you may have made for this person, things you may have gone through with this person. And again, you just keep seeing the way that they are kind of spitting that stuff back at you. I would say that this is probably not something that is telling you that this person's coming in so much as that you may have things going on in your life that could be very reflective of saying that this situation that you were in, maybe you have something going on now that's kind of mirroring that. Because again, that mirror is big on reflection. What could be reminding you of that person in that situation that you've been through with them, what kind of pain you've been through, kind of toxicness that's been through there as well. Because again, when we think of eating something raw meat specifically, that's toxic. You can get really ill, really sick. So there's a lot in here. I mean, you even saw yourself take a physical bite of that. Um, this person, even the chanting, I believe you said that they were chanting very close to your face as well. When we think of chanting, right, that's influencing someone. We want to say something repeatedly, right, because we're trying to get something through. I like our how we say our affirmations. We say them again and again because we want those to come true. Incantations like spells, things like that. Someone is saying those things because they may want you to believe those things as well. So I think that there's a lot of toxic energy that comes into this situation with this ex. And I think that's one of the main things that you keep dreaming is of this. It's unhealed energy. I think until you find resolution in that relationship or even whatever you have going on now, because I'm not sure how long ago you had this dream. Whatever you have going on now that's kind of mirroring that, maybe telling you that you need to watch, be careful, pull away, especially if you're having several dreams about the same ex. Okay. I hope that helps. I'm going to pass it over to Journey.
All right. So that's agree a lot with what Kay was saying. And, looking at the situation between you, eating the meat is forcing you to do something that you wouldn't typically do. So it's feeding you, he's feeding you what he wants you to have. He only wants you to do this, meaning you can't say no. You're not allowed to say no. That's control. That's a dominance over you. And you seeing that he had that dominance over you. So you knew that this was not something that you would typically do. And again, as Kay said, disgust you. It's not something that you would do. Not most people would eat raw meat. Now, I do know that there are some meals out there and people do that. But in this case, for you, this is not something that you would typically do. So he was feeding you what he wanted you to have. He was feeding you. Was this meat green? Did this meat have a smell? Did this meat make you nauseous? Did it make you sick? Things to know in that dream, because that could fill in some blanks here. But the other thing is like you saw yourself in the mirror. That's you're taking a look, you're reflecting back, taking these stickers off the cans. Now, you're taking labels off these cans because what he's giving you, you are disguising. You're hiding from the world what he's giving you. You're hiding from the world. You're hiding from yourself what you're being given. So you're taking this and you're throwing it away. You don't want to know what it is because there's the want him, and you need to really look in that mirror and reflect and see that you've been fed this raw meat. You've been fed false dreams and promises that don't come together. The chanting is breaking your will, taking away your free will, telling you that you have to do this. And that's why he got up in your face. It was because it was you he's trying to control. This is about dominance, Kat. And I'm going to say your self-conscious is telling you, stop. Don't worry about Jeff. Cut Jeff's ties. Let Jeff go. Look back at yourself. Look at who you were. Look at the garbage he fed you. I mean, I'm literally repeating a lot of things that she's already said. So, but I'm hearing myself speak and going, yes, she already said that. But from what I can tell you is that I have to agree Jeff is a very toxic person that wants total dominance and complete control. And if you don't give him what he wants, he makes you feel bad. He makes you sick. He makes you feel like you can't do things. And he makes you feel guilty for it. That's what the chanting's about. It's taking away your free will, because what happens when you go through that, you stay, you stick around, you continue to keep doing what he wants you to do. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize. It's time to see that the things that are going on around you and before you are not healthy for you, and that you need to take a step back, and you need to find a way to cut them cords that belong to Jeff. That means putting away the pictures that you may have of him, taking him out of your phone. If you don't want to, I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to lose their number. You do want to lose their number. You want to lose connection with the person who is trying to drain you. This is very toxic for you. And I'm going to have to tell you, run. Get the hell away from Jeff. Jeff is not, he is not the person for you. And whatever love that you have for him is not of your own free will. Because the summoning and the chanting just told you that's not of your free will. What do you love more? When he's feeding you raw meat, or you having to disguise what he's giving to you? She says, I lost his number this past month. Good. Don't find it. Stay away from Jeff. Drop him like a safe in the sea, girl. He's an idiot in tinfoil, and you don't need that. You're looking for a knight in shining armor. Just because it's shiny doesn't make it armor, honey. And he wants someone he can control. He's looking to be the master of somebody. And I'm going to say that's extremely toxic. You don't deserve that. No one deserves that unless they want that. See, there's a difference between someone who wants that type of relationship and someone who doesn't. And you strike me as someone who likes to be independent and share in love, not to be dominated or told what to do. And with Jeff, that's what you would get. And you would be miserable. And you would lose your friends. You would lose your family because of it. So be careful about what you choose when it comes to Jeff, because your dreams are giving you great warning to stay away. All right. Cat.
Woo! I always say that's your subconscious is really yelling a message at you there with a dream like that.
If your dream had an arm with a fist, it would have punched you straight in the throat with that one. Like, for real. That's a straight throat punch. That's a throat punch. That's your own self telling you. A lot of people don't realize when we go into our dream states, Kat says, thank you. You are so welcome, Kat. But when you're in your dream state, you are sometimes psychically connecting with yourself, because then your subconscious is where a lot of your psychic abilities do lie, and getting the chance to know and understand them. And a lot of people don't listen to them because they don't understand their dreams. But the part where you think, oh, well, I don't dream, or I don't remember my dreams. That's because you understood the message. You got what was being told to you by your own subconscious. So it's not something that you have to remember, because the dream is symbolism. You processed it as a whole. So you got the message. So you're not going to remember the dream, because the dream is null and void now, because you got the understanding. So how you see it in the dream and how you processed it were two different things. So it's cool. I love dreams.
We love dreams.
And guys, Kay, this is where her gift began at a very, very young age, and started to really start coming into her waking light. And you guys need to watch I think it was an I Am Human episode. It was the very first episode. So episode 1, if you guys go to I Am Human on our YouTube channel, go back to episode 1, and you'll hear Kay talk about those dreams and how that woke up for her.
I say just pay attention to your dreams. Even if they don't make sense, just write it down. You may not get it. We'll get it.
Absolutely. And if you don't get it, bring it to us. We will definitely help you out with it. Not a problem. All right. So Kay started off with the last one. I'm going to go ahead and start off with this one. So here we go. We've got Joel says, how can I get some help out on my thoughts, and they keep coming back every night. They don't They don't be real thoughts of my own dreams. Okay, so what I'm picking up in this is that the dreams in which you're receiving, the way that you're thinking when you're dreaming, is that the thoughts don't feel like your own, because the way that you dream is not direct. It's not how you would directly think about the way you dream. Now, there's another scenario with this. So I'm going to do two lanes here because I don't have enough about what type of thought it is or what the dream was about to go deeper. So dreams are not going to tell you direct. They're going to talk to you in symbolism. So it's not going to feel how you would typically think or how you would typically see things. But also, if you are psychically connected in that point, which you can be, like I just said prior, you could be hearing spirit trying to provide you with a message, which is not a dream. It's possibly a premonition or a message from spirit in some way, but you need to be aware. So we would need to know a little bit more about what type of thoughts they were, what type of dreams were they? Were the thoughts about you, or was it your actions? Now, if it's about your actions, it's going to be more about your dreams trying to tell you that, hey, you're not being yourself. And that could also be what that is. So those thoughts, are these thoughts before you go to bed? Are you bringing these thoughts to your dreams? There's a lot that could be happening here. So Joel, if you have more information about that, let's say it's a reoccurring dream, it's something that constantly keeps happening, give us a little bit more detail so we can go further into it. But the opportunity for you to be either A, receiving a message, or you trying to say, well, that's not how I would do things, because you're trying to think with a logical mind versus the way the dream state works, which talks in symbolism, and you're not understanding the symbolism versus the other thing. All right, they were like sex and names falling. Um, well, sex can also represent not actual physical sex, but it actually can be things that you're passionate about. Maybe that's something that you represent that the word sex with passion and connection, commitment, things to that nature. So it really depends on that. And then names falling, and then that means that there's people that you care about. I'm sure that the names that you recognize were people that you knew. So to me, it feels like there's a lot of worry about everyone else. And if I'm piecing this together right, what is happening is that you're so passionate about everybody else's life and about everybody else around you, you're not paying enough attention to yourself. And that's why you can't shake the feels. It's not the way I think, because you're not thinking about you. You're thinking about everybody else, and you're thinking about what you can do for them. You can only put so much on your shoulders. You can't carry the weight of the world by yourself. So, yeah, this dream seems extremely interesting, and I'm not going to spit everything out because we don't have the full dream to dissect. And I pretty much went over a bunch, and Kay is probably throat punching me in her head, so I'm going to pass it over to Kay.
I guess what struck me more was so the prior dream we had was very control based. This one sounds very out of control. The Okay. Yeah, so these all seem to be thoughts and things that you have, like, you have no control what's going on in your head. It reminds me of almost, I want to say, like an untrained empath, or someone who's not fully in control of maybe their gifts that they may have. Clear audience, you'll hear a lot of sounds, and sometimes it is just words, sometimes it is just a name, sometimes it is a weird noise. All of those things, to me, I just keep hearing it. Sounds really clear, like there's messages that you're not quite trying to receive, or you're not understanding how to receive yet. I think maybe it may be time for you in your waking day to be a little bit more conditioned with the third eye in your crown. Probably will make your dreams make a lot more sense, because everything you're saying to me, it just sounds, it really sounds like there's other things that are trying to be shown or said to you, but for whatever reason, you're not tuned to the same frequency. You're not tuned to the right radio station, if you will, of spirit, because you're not getting that complete picture and you have no control of what you're hearing, how you're seeing it, how it's happening, who's the voices. Even when Journey was making that comment there, if you're worried about everyone else, and you may be taking all that in, again, untrained empath, you suck in all of the other energy and you can feel all those different emotions. And again, you'll hear, you'll see, you'll sense things, but you won't be able to fully put that picture together. So I think that may be time for you to really kind of just hone in. And again, when you do hear those names and you hear these sounds and these things, these are all important to write down, because though it may not make sense in the small, in the grand whole, it may. And when we have any kind of dreams of falling, that is, I mean, literally, we don't have any control. We're letting go. So I think that's interesting. I agree again with what Journey said, as far as if there was some more detail there in that dream, I'd be really interested, because I kind of feel like there's probably something more to it that would probably seal the deal on this. But we're just missing a little bit of that detail. So no details too small. Uh, Guys, make sure you guys give us as much as you can. All right, I hope that helps, Honey Bun.
Definitely a hard dream to interpret, and that's why we say to get that deeper part of the dream as much as you possibly can. Again, no details too small. Like I said before, those yellow roses in the corner may have played a part, but you know, Joel says, "Box in my head. Could it be a problem? How can?" I'm wondering if they're saying, "How can I solve that?"
Yeah. If whenever we have a mental blockages, right? Um, Typically that would mean we have congestion of sorts in our crown or our third eye. Um, that's literally our frequency to spirit, third eye, in your crown, your mind, the way your thoughts are processing, your intuition. What I would say is definitely try certain meditations that are for third eye or crown frequencies. Yoga is definitely something that's good to keep you aligned. Reiki would be something. Joel says solve. How can you solve it? Yeah. Reiki would be something that could help. Crystal healing, sound healing, things like that, to kind of open that. But the thing is that you want to calm your mind. That is like literally the most important thing, is grounding yourself and calming your mind so that you're able to receive the messages that you're supposed to. Also, open your heart up, right? To the idea of something different. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of things because it just sounds too crazy. It doesn't make any sense. But I always say, maybe just take time to just trust whatever it is, tune into whatever it is that that message is telling you. Um, and many intuitive people will say the same thing, right? When I just still myself for a minute, I can hear that message that spirit's trying to give you. So if there's things that you haven't faced in your present life, if there's things that are holding you back, if you've had to deal with any cycles of any kind of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse, all of those things can also make those blockages happen up there in that crown area. So working through your traumas, things like that, I would work through those. Joel says, okay, yes, I will give it a try. Take time. The most important thing I could say is just take time to still your mind. Journaling is something that's really good. If you cannot get yourself to fully go into a meditation, because not everybody can, sometimes just laying still, working through a minute meditation to a 5 minute. Water meditation is really good in the bathtub, things like that. So just take time to kind of be able to learn how to balance those chakras, and I guarantee you those blockages will go away.
Also, something that struck me is like, how can I solve that? How can I solve the blockages? Just like in the dream when we were talking about the names falling, and then the passion of the sex and things like that, that type of connection. Again, remember to solve the problems with you and not the problems for everybody else. So I want you to make sure that you can try to let go. You're not going to be able to carry the weight of the world and solve everybody's problems on your own. It's going to take time for you to, because if you're not balanced, as Kay was saying, you're not going to be able to help anybody else, and you're definitely not going to be able to help yourself. You have to be balanced in order for you to be able to help those around you, if that's what you choose to do. Because we all are healers in our own way, but we also need to remember, if we don't take care of oneself, you're not going to be able to help those around you. Because a lot of people seem to think it's easier to help somebody else with their problems than to deal with their own. And you're probably giving bad advice. For those who are not balanced, you're out there giving bad advice, and you're just like, oh, okay, shit. My bad. My bad. No, definitely. I believe in the meditation, things like that. Grounding is a good one. Put your hands in the dirt if you can. If you got some potted soil, plant a flower, a tree, some new herbs for the springtime. Do whatever it is that you can for yourself. Put them in a greenhouse. Put your hands the salt water by the bed. All these different things to help ground you and take away negativity, to help relieve yourself from some of those blockages. But there's a possibility too, if you've had a lot of trauma, PTSD does play a part in that, which can give you nightmares and can't think of the name of it right now. It's a symptom of that, night terrors. So another thing to know about somebody when we're talking about dreams, is it a night terror? Is it, what is it? Let's get down. How did it make you feel when you woke up? How did you what was going on in the dream? Guys, give us as much detail as possible when it comes to the dream, and we're going to try to take care of much as that as we possibly can, with the ability of how much you share with us, so we can get down to the root of the problem to help you understand what it is, so that reoccurring dream can go away, as you can open yourself up to new things. Because if we get stuck on a dream, it will reoccur, and it means that we're, even in our waking life, we're still living and playing in that emotion, and we need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that we heal ourselves from. All right. Surprise!
Jeez.
Surprise! She just wanted to be on the other side. That's okay.
You know.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and take our next dream. Kay's going to start us off on that, and here we go.
We have Nastasia. She says, "Hi, I have two dreams about my boyfriend leaving me the last 7 days." Okay, so twice this week you've had a dream of your boyfriend leaving you. It sounds like an anxiety, fear-based dream. I'm not sure what all the details are. Again, just a little bit more context in there. Like, when he left you, was it a big argument, small argument? What all kind of was going on with that? Was it the exact same dream both times this week? But I would say there's a lot of anxiety that seems to be in this. There may be some lack of trust, or something here that may be unresolved in this relationship, and it's playing across as, oh, this is this breakup, right? But really it may be just that there's something you guys may need to work through. Maybe there's something you guys need to talk. There may be a disconnect that's happening in a relationship, but this definitely is breeding a lot of fear and anxiety that's coming through, which is very possible because, right, when we go to sleep, subconscious, that's that other part of our mind is kicking in. Okay, so if there's anything that you're presently worrying about, it can most certainly trickle into that dream state. So I would say this sounds like a lot of anxiety. It doesn't always necessarily mean that, oh, me and my boyfriend are going to break up. That's probably just some anxiety. All right, if you do have some more detail to that dream, we would absolutely love it. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Journey.
All right, so I have to agree, this is definitely a fear-based anxiety dream, but something in your waking life when it comes to the boyfriend is saying to you that you have mistrusted him on something, or you have a suspicion about something, and you're trying to process that while you're sleeping. And so, so something within this week's time, has made you think that he's doing something maybe that he shouldn't be doing, and it's throwing off your trust. But there's a lot to this as well, is that you're trying to process it, and you're scaring yourself and waking up from it. Is that, are you psyching yourself out? Are you overdoing it? That's where the anxiety comes in. So it seems to me as though that you're trying to get an understanding. Am I over going overboard with this? Do I Do I believe what he's saying? And I have to agree with Kay. I mean, she pretty much summed this up. So she left me very little to to really process because there wasn't a lot to go off of here. So she definitely left me very little to go off of after explaining everything to you. So I would just be reiterating like 99.9% of everything she was already saying. But yeah, this is definitely anxiety. And I do feel as though that you guys haven't seen eye to eye and there's something that's making you mistrust him. Um, Something to do with social media. Maybe you're overlooking his social media and giving, because sorry, that just came through and I had to say it because I know you didn't give us that part of the dream, but stop looking at a social media. You're putting yourself in a frenzy. Just like
I agree.
there's something going on. There's an image or of some kind. There's a story being created that she doesn't know the answer to. So she's freaking out the fact that she could possibly lose the person. And those dreams are real. They come, we get those panic dreams. It's never fun.
No.
It's never fun. All right. So we're going to keep on going. Sorry, I looked down at the bottom of the screen. Hope for luck before work time.
Good luck.
And here we go. Well, she's next on the list when it comes to our dream interpretation. So, guys, if there's anybody else there that's watching and would like to share a dream with us, please go ahead and put your dream in the comments. And that way we can dissect it, give you an understanding so you get a balance and understanding of what you have been trying to tell yourself. All right. So, you opened the last one. I'm going to open this
Your turn.
My turn. All right, so let's do it. All right, we got Maylin says, my dream, a man M, I liked him, phoned me and he sounded drunk and said hello. In that moment, I woke up breathless, strange, but it was just like that. Okay, so someone you like. Okay, so this is a tad of a bit of a desire of reaching out to communicate with you. But there seems to be the part where he contacted you and said hello. Is there communication? It doesn't feel like there's communication between the two of you. But the fact that he was drunk means that, you know, he wasn't himself. He wasn't being himself. So he wasn't his typical self. Saying hello, he left it at one word. He didn't elaborate. The thing about it is that your mind automatically woke you up. Now, I'm going to tell you that there was more to this dream, and more than likely you haven't remembered this part of the dream because you processed that part, but this is not himself. She says, I wrote my dream. Haha. She says, he has a woman now. But that's not why I know that he has a woman at the moment, but that's not what's playing a part here. Is that the fact that he reached out. So me saying that he hasn't having any contact with you or communication with you because there's another woman in the picture makes sense to me. So this is an anxiety dream. Yes, it freaked you out that he reached out and he said hello. I know you want to hear that he's going to come in and he's going to be communicating with you like that. She said yes. So the thing about that is that I'm going to say he's not communicating with you right now and he is not being himself. I do feel as though that I think from the way I'm seeing this perspective is that there are some desires in here. And then I'm also seeing that part of it is your mind telling you that this is not the time. And then there's that part. She goes, yeah, we don't have communication. Right. But the thing about this is that it's telling me that you are not, it's not that you won't, but eventually you will, but it freaked you out when the opportunity came, but he wasn't himself. He isn't himself. This is really based on a desire. It almost feels like if you would have not woken up in the dream, which I don't think that you woke up in the place you think you woke up in. I believe that there was more to the dream, and I get more of a, well, brown chicken, brown cow, more of an exotic dream to where he came to you, and it seems more, it came off as more of a fantasy desire and the hopes that he will reach out. So that's what I got. She goes, "You mean he will communicate?" No, that's the psychic part of it, but that wasn't what was happening in your dream. Your dream wasn't telling you that. I said that psychically. So that was just a little extra for you. But I just want you to know that this dream comes to me more as a desire for him to reach out, but because you know he's with a woman, he called you drunk. So it was like, oh, I'm only reaching out to you because I'm drunk. That's not why someone would communicate with you in this scenario. This is, again, I'm pretty sure the dream became sexual, and that part you accepted. The other part you just didn't understand, and you woke up, and that can explain why you felt breathless and panicked at the same time. But I'm going to pass this over to Kay because I'm sure she's got some stuff she'd like to touch base on.
A lot of it, I agree with almost everything there. Like I basically, I'm going to co-sign. I 100% agree. This is a desire dream for sure. But I mix this with a bit of anxiety and desire, right? They took your breath away whenever they were on the phone. That hello, it shocked you. But also when I think, right, of someone's breath being taken away, right? Stifled communication. There's things that you don't know what to say. You don't know how to react. You don't know what to do with what is being thrown your way. I feel as though there was actually some energy that he probably in waking day really was throwing at you, but he wasn't able to fully open up. Um, I get like can't speak on thoughts. That was something I heard whenever I read that dream too. I actually wrote that down. Can't speak on their thoughts or feelings, which again you put because they have a current partner now, right? So that makes a lot of sense on why they wouldn't be able to speak on their current thoughts or feelings. But when we think someone calling drunk, right? A drunk tongue speaks a sober mind, right? So I do feel as though there has to be something there that I feel like you know that there's something that may be genuine in that connection, but then at the same time, it almost feels very forbidden. Uh, Even the energy of him,
Brown cow came in.
right? Even just in the fact of the way that the call was, I'm sure this call didn't come at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
Right.
I think that there's a lot that kind of plays into this too. But like I said, the key things I took away from were the stifled communication, the desire that's here, the anxiety of oh my gosh, right? And then you wake up. So it's really an interesting dream. I don't think this is your first or only dream. So it was morning like 4:30. Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think this is the first dream. I don't even think it may be your last dream you have of this person. But what I will say is there may be a need in your waking day to have more fulfillment of some sort. So maybe work on things that are bringing you that sense of purpose or excitement. Work on that sacral chakra, if you will. Right. I hope that helps. I had to, of course, throw the sacral chakra in.
Of course. Why not? Why not? But we do have those. We see there are dreams that we have that we understand certain parts of it, and then sometimes the dream doesn't make sense at all. And then you're just like, and she said, "Thanks, dear."
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the dream took a turn for the passionate side.
Yeah.
But that to me, when I was getting that, it was like it was a passion of wanting to be together, knowing that there's a connection between the two of them, wanting that connection to go stronger than what it is currently. So yeah, so there's desire, and there's so much more to it. And I would suggest anybody who's got a phone, a device that they can use for themselves, and tell yourself your dreams, and or write them down, a dream journal. I have a dream journal. It's like this freaking thick. I write dreams down all the time so I can dissect them. And then when I dissect my own dreams, I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense now. Okay, I got it. I understand what I was supposed to. And sometimes it's just it's simple as the fire's hot, stop touching the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mind's trying to tell you that, but you're not doing that because your feelings may get in the way. And Mailing says, it was just like stunned. Absolutely. It shocked you because it's something that you want as a desire, but in your dream it happened, and it happened passionately. Now, I loved what you said about the drunk tongue speaks a sober mind. A drunk tongue will speak what a sober mind won't.
Mm-hmm.
So the filters shut down, that whole department goes on break, and they just spill what they truly feel.
Just start saying shit.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. I was a bartender. I bartended for 15 years. And I heard so much, and I was like, these drunk people tell me everything, everything. And I mean, I know what they feel about their partner and how they truly feel about their partner, and and they don't overthink; they just talk. And so, in the dream that you're expressing, that's another desire for him to speak freely and to tell you what he truly feels about you, because you feel a spark between the two of you. So it's definitely something that's coming. And then the erotic part I picked up on my own. I know you didn't put that out forth, but it was there. It was definitely there. I was like, ooh, this becomes rated R after this.
Spicy.
This is MATV. All right, get the hell out of this room, Journey. She goes, I have always felt it is something. Right. So there is that. It's like the glance across the room, the connection when the eyes meet. If you guys do, have a brief conversation. And that's what I was going to say too about that brief, just a hello. Is that's basically the conversation. And that's why in the dream, that's all you got was just a hello, because the conversations are not deep. There's no substance to the conversations. She says, between us, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is definitely something there. Like you can feel it, but there's another person in the play at the moment. And she goes, yes, it is all I remember. Right. Because there's parts of it where you accept, and then there are parts of it you're not accepting. And that's the part where it's just that brief hello. You can't understand why that's all you're getting.
Yeah.
You could feel that connection. You can feel what's happening between the two of you, but you're not getting more than that. And even in the dream, you're trying to, even if he were to talk more in the dream versus just the brief hello, it would still shock you awake, because it's something you desire, but you're not getting. And so it doesn't, but okay. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Things happen for a reason. You prepare yourself for a lot of things. And this is just, there's not a lot to go off of, except for, parts where we have to kind of break down some doors to get in. But she goes, next chapter, come on. But the thing is that we prepare ourselves. And you ever seen those who only get to a certain level of sleep and they can't get to the dream state, and then they start to feel like they're going crazy? Everybody needs to go to sleep, and they need to dream in order for them to process the thoughts that they've had throughout, their thoughts, their feelings, their desires, their fears, everything. You process of them all in the one dream. And then by having that one dream, you find yourself, understanding your thoughts and everything that's going on. And she put, so, you're putting all of this into one place. And, she says, next time I'll probably say hello, good morning. Well, that's you saying that, and then a dream that actually has it gives it another step. So there's, if you had that conversation where he was like, good morning, instead of hello. So now that's going to add good morning to your hello. it's gonna build until you finally get what you're looking for. That's a desire dream, and more than likely, it's gonna be a reoccurring one.
That's why I said you're gonna have. That's not her first, and it's not gonna be her last dream by him.
No, no, I don't believe that it would be her last dream about that situation. That was definitely, like I said, it went down to the you need to be over 21 to watch this. So I was like, I'm gonna step over here.
Get out of here.
I'll stay out here. Y'all keep the door closed. I'm good. No, did not needing to see that. But we all have those desire dreams. There are things that we want so passionately that, just like the other dream, it said sex and the names were falling down. It wasn't about the sex.
Mm-hmm.
Sex is a representation of passion, connection, commitment, things to that nature. Sex has more meanings than just being physical with one another. And then with the names falling around, and then the falling, we talked about the falling. There's a lot of things that you would try to think with a logical mind, but unfortunately, when it comes to the dream state, things are not logical.
Yeah.
Eating meat, peeling stickers off cans. These are not typical actions. They're not logical actions. They're symbolism. And, that's hiding from what the person's giving you. You don't want to see what it is. So you're not wanting to see the truth of what someone's feeding you. You want to believe the illusion, or you're making up look, it's no longer peaches. These are beans. No, they're still peaches. You just don't want to see it. Mm-hmm. So some very interesting dreams tonight so far.
Very, very.
A lot of symbolism and a lot of not seeing it for what they're wanting to see it for what they want to see it for, rather than what it actually is. All right, so we got Tanya here. So
Tanya says, I keep having dreams of my deceased dad and wake up around 3 a.m. every night. Why? 3 a.m. is the witching hour. I don't know if you believe in that or not, but that's what that is. Your spirits it's just heightened connection at that time. The dreams, it would be good if we had a little bit more detail on what you're dreaming about with him. Is he alive, or is he already passed away in the dream? Because you could be just having things where you're trying to remember those fond memories, or you could be kind of getting certain advice, or there could be different things he could be saying to you in that dream that could be messages that you're supposed to be receiving. Nonetheless, I would say this is actually him trying to connect with you. And I also feel like I get a huge sense of your soul is missing that energy as well. There's something that feels very unfulfilled in regards to it almost feels disconnected. So I don't know if this was a sudden loss or anything like that. So he's alive in my dreams. Okay, so I feel like that's probably this is probably messages that you're trying to get, or he may even be trying to give you in your dream state, because you can be more receptive to it versus during your waking state. But again, I can't even help but to feel as though he's probably giving you signs in your waking state too, but maybe they're not clear enough for you. So he's trying to make that a little louder in the dreams. I feel like it's not all the same dream either. I feel like you're having different kinds of dreams about him, like different things that are happening. She said, is there something I can do or should do? It was an unexpected passing. I knew it was unexpected passing. Okay. So I don't honestly, I mean, Journey may have something else for you, but as far as it goes, when there's someone who passes, especially unexpectedly, you have to just go through that grief process. Try to gain more alignment or understanding of what is being done in the dreams, even if you just write them down, bring them back here, whatever. But figure out what's going on in those dreams. What is the time gap of Yeah, all different things. So this is exactly. I really feel like all of these things. A lot of it seems like some visits from him. Some of them feel like messages from him, but I really don't get that this is anything but him trying to still communicate with you in another sense. And I feel like there's probably things that you're going through currently that may be more stressful, and he's trying to um, like kind of be a part of things or help you through certain things. So I just keep feeling like there's some healing that needs to be happening. And for you, the best thing I can tell you to do is try to ground yourself, allow yourself to properly grieve, and to come to whatever understanding that you may need to have. Okay, she said, I'll start writing them down. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time. Absolutely no problem. But yeah, take time with each of those things. See how far apart those dreams are. Are you having more than one in at night? Do you notice that it's whenever it's under more times of strain or stress, or is there happier moments and you're having lighter dreams with him? But I really do feel like it's just his energy still trying to connect with you, even after his passing. But that's all I was saying. I was like, this had to be something unexpected, because it feels like he's still like you're not even just him. It feels like you both are still trying to connect to each other. So it's really a lot of energy there. Also, I'll also throw this out too. I don't think he's the only one who visits your dreams either. It's probably part of the gifts you have. All right, I'll pass this over to Journey.
All right. So, Tanya, when it comes down to your dad coming into your dreams, and you say he's alive, so this is definitely what Kay's saying. He is coming in. He's trying to give you messages, but the thing about the messages is that you're still not understanding. So he's trying to give you messages in waking life. Your life is too hectic at this point for you to pick up on the subtleties of that message. She says, I feel like that too. That was a message to you. The thing is that the things that are going on, the energy that's going on around you, it to me looks more along the lines of, it's like, what would my father say? What would my father do? And giving you these types of information. So in order to know exactly what messages he's trying to relieve, to relay to you, we would need to know what was happening in the dream. What was he talking about? What was he wearing? What were you guys in a place? Was there a lot of water? Was it raining? Was it sunny? Was the wind blowing? Were you in a house? Were you in a cave? Where were you? Where was the dream taking place? Were you in your own bedside? Sometimes that takes place where he sits down and communicates with you beside your bed. It really has a lot to do with the fact that he's constantly trying to communicate with you. And every time the dream is different, because every time that you have the dream, certain circumstances in your life have changed. Something's going on that's different in your life. There's a lot going on here that you're wanting that genuine advice, because when you think of your father, I get that you feel genuine and that he isn't going to lie to you. So you're looking for that one person that's going to be genuine, who's going to be, honest and open with you, and that's not going to lie to you. It's not going to pull your legs. So you're needing that fatherly advice, somebody who's going to snap you out, so you don't feel like you're going to be making a bad decision, and knowing how to handle certain situations with certain people. Tanya says, thanks so much. Both of you really helped me. You are so welcome. But know that, write these dreams down and bring them back, because we can help you get the message in which he's trying to relay to you, because clearly the messages that he's trying to give you are pretty important for him to constantly bring you in at the witching hour and waking you up at that point. These are some pretty strong dreams, and you need to really take forward. They're usually, when dreams at the witching hour happen, they're serious. These are serious messages. These are not necessarily like warnings, like you're going to be in trouble or you're in danger, but you really need to know this. The strength of them dreams at that time, you need to be aware. So please, Tanya, write them down. Write them down. Hello, Kay.
Hey, yes.
She's like, me, pick me. All right. All right, guys. We are getting close to the end. We're going to go ahead and jump into one last thing here. I did tell one person that we could jump in. We're probably only going to be able to get to one of your dreams. I know you said last dream, but we're gonna jump into only one. She says, I'll start writing them down and be in touch. Absolutely, Tanya. Keep us informed and we will help you through that. That's gotta be hard to, have those dreams of past loved ones. I know that I have, and they are hard, but at the same time you need to listen and see what they're saying.
Yeah.
I write those dreams down definitely because I need to know the information in which is being provided here. All right. We've got for Fervent. I'm not sure I'm saying your name right, so I'm going to call you F. It says, for many years, I've dreamed sitting of being in a high school and my partner picking me up, even coming into the classroom to pick me up. Recent one was no longer high school, but a boarding school. And every dream, the partner feels significant to be in my school and learning. Ooh, I'm getting some. The last dream, I was in a boarding school, was the most mature setting and feeling than all dreams prior in the past with me. Okay, so when it comes down to that situation, from what I'm picking up, okay, so being in your school, being in your learning process, I'm getting that. I don't know if they're teaching you something because it to me they're picking you up. It feels like they're teaching life lessons. It's actually not a bad dream, but it was like this person, this partner is showing you the light of certain things and letting you know and taking you into the class and kind of like pointing things out to you, picking you up because it's that time. You need to get out of the situation. You need to leave learn the lesson, and now it's time to leave. The partner's coming to get you to take you out. The thing is that the energy that I see circling it is showing me here that, even in the more mature settings. So when it's in the boarding school, again, still look at the size of the series, look at the seriousness of the significance of what was happening in your life. Your partner picking you up, showing you what you don't want to see, but you are learning on your own, something you couldn't see on your own unless you were taught. And your partner here is trying to help you and trying to show you. And I'm going as fast as I can because we're running out of time here. But I'm going to pass it over to Kay because she's got over there. She's got a smile on her face.
I agree as well. One thing that sticks out to me is the fact that pretty much all the relationships end up in school of some sort. When we think boarding school, though, right? You're packing your bags, you are away for quite a significant amount of time before you come back in. Um, to me, it seems like one, yes, there's a huge lesson you're supposed to be learning off of each relationship you're in. But to me, it seems like you're stuck in a certain learning phase. There's not too much growth, though there's a little bit because we went from, a high school to this next thing here, right? But I really feel as though there's supposed to be some sort of lessons you're supposed to learn in these relationships. I think paying attention to what's on the chalkboard or what's the paperwork that you guys may have in front of you, things like that when you're in the school, that may tell you exactly where you're supposed to be focused. Because I feel like there is some extra details that may be in these dreams. And it may just be, I was in a science classroom, um, but I feel like there's some significance to the fact that it is always this school setting. Huge thing here of like a karmic relationship, something you're supposed to learn from. So I would definitely take time with that and figure out what it is in the relationship you guys need to be growing with and where you guys are staying stuck in almost that teenage mindset. All right. Well, I hope that helps.
All right. Sorry about that being at the end there. We had to rush through that one just a little bit faster than normal. But if you could remember more details, just like Kay said, about what's going on in the chalkboard, are there papers in front of you? What is in the room? Are you dreaming in color? Is it black and white? There's differences. we definitely can pick up on those small details that may not make sense to you, but they will make sense to us to help you understand so that they will help you get past that dream so you can to move on. But it does sound like the partner in this dream is very helpful.
Yeah. Got to be willing to accept the help.
Exactly. Sometimes we don't accept the help. All right, guys. Well, this has been a blast. We appreciate you guys so much. And we will see you guys all again next week at midnight, technically Thursday, Wednesday for others. But yes, we'll be here next week with those wonderful dreams and the explanations behind them. So, guys, get it writing. We'll see you next week. Bye.